Welcome to our supersized third and final part of our Alien Romulus episode. We hope you enjoy the show. So, I didn't pick up on the Wagner reference at all.
No,
which is Covenant.
yeah, it's all from Alien.
Yeah, I did there
And
actually.
the actual piece is actually called the Entry of the Gods of Valhalla, which is what David is listening to in Alien Covenant while he's like eating noodles or something, or whatever he was doing while everybody else was in cryosleep. So
Yeah, he was plotting and scheming. Man, my appreciation for Covenant's gone up after listening to that episode of Horror Weekly again. No, dude, he makes sense. No, dude. First of all, I rate Covenant higher than Prometheus, so people are already gonna hate me for that. Okay, there's a lot of people are gonna disagree, but I rewatched it recently after hearing his breakdown, and the case that he makes for that movie is very valid, dude. He talks about David being both Dr. Frankenstein and the Frankenstein monster. Yeah. And it's when you watch it under that lens, far out. Watch it again. I rate Covenant much higher than
Prometheus. It's been a while since I watched it.
The only issue I have with Alien Covenant is actually quite a similar issue that I'm kind of having with Alien Romulus, which is like the more and more distance I have away from it, the more things I'm forgetting about it. Now, if I asked you the same question about Alien from '79...
No, it's memorable, of course, but it's also a precursor, dude. It's the first time you experience something like that.
No,
look,
but
if you want, I'll give you a video game analogy. The first time you played Gears of War, you were like, oh, shit, I just hit the wall with my shoulder. I can feel the weight of this guy. And then the sequels were like... It didn't feel the same. There's a lot of in popular media in general, you get something that hits really hard when it hits the first time. And then it kind of...
Yeah, but I get that. But then you've got Aliens.
And it's a fresh take.
Yeah, but it's a fresh take. I see, yes, I agree. But also, you have a sidestep. That's why it works. If it was sticking to the same genre, dude, they're not the same genre. There are horror elements in Aliens. Aliens is a fucking action movie.
Now,
and it's a great action movie.
It's a balls-to-wall 1986 action movie. That's it.
Alien is a horror movie. Dude, Alien is a slasher. All. That's what Alien is.
This is where I would say, this is where myself and Sally disagree. So I said to Sally, Alien is a monster... stuck in the same place horror movie. Aliens
is a claustrophobic slasher,
What we had with Alien Romulus was a haunted house. So that's slightly different to Alien.
But you know, a haunted house, usually it's a hodgepodge of things that scare you, and that's what this movie does. It's trying to do too much.
It tries to.
Is the Japanese film, again, I feel really bad because I'm slightly forgetting. Is it called Haunt? There's a Japanese film where it's about a bunch of teenagers made in the 80s. I think it's called Haunt. I'm going to really hate myself in a second.
Not sure. Familiar with it.
Anyway, it is this sort of film. It's that sort of like we've got a group of teenagers that are trying to get somewhere. They end up in a haunted house. Oh, that haunted house has so many elements that the audience knows about, but none of the characters know about.
You know what it is? It's very simple. Everybody... but the leads in this die.
Yeah,
Andy and Rain survived this, and everybody else that dies, I didn't give a fuck about. I did not give a fuck about, and yet I spent very little time with the crew of the Nostromo, and when they die, it fucking hits.
Oh yeah,
in Aliens. When they die, you miss them. When Paxton dies, you still think about that death. You still think about that, when every single one of them dies, you miss them. And you spend barely any time with them. That is the main difference, dude.
There's good character.
Do you know what is missing in this movie that I don't think is missing from any other Alien movie?
A bonding section at the beginning for the main characters.
Fine. Do you know what that is missing? There's a particular sequence.
Go on.
Not a single fucking meal is consumed together in this movie. They are not sitting at the table.
The Italian picked
Yes,
out
the
there
Italian's
was no
gonna.
food.
Yes, but how memorable were
Even
the,
if it's just
I'm sorry,
cornbread.
how memorable were the eating sequences in Alien and Aliens?
Great.
Do you want
one
me
has
to?
got-
The chest
one
busting
has-
sequence in Alien
Yeah,
happens at the
exactly.
table. And whenever you see Lance Henriksen doing the knife sequence as a kid, you remember how much that blew your mind? It's at the table. When you see the disdain that Ripley has for droids because of what happened with Ash towards Bishop, and she shows prejudice, it's at the table. It's because that's when you get to know people. You get to know people when you share a meal with them, when you sit down and yes, this is a very Italian thing to say.
But I have to say,
Yeah.
it does feel like there is scenes cut from this movie.
Various, including
Yeah.
the one where there's
Where
no
they share the
confrontation
meal.
between Navarro and
Yeah.
her piece of shit boyfriend. We didn't talk about that, did we? So we need to
We
really
haven't
speed through
talked
it.
about so much. Like, we haven't actually talked about Ian Holm. I'm going to say it out there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
we
to that in a
haven't
moment.
talked about
Okay.
Ian Holm.
We're
By
gonna-
the way,
can I just say,
the
can I lead you
Japanese
to the
film was
Haunt,
House,
please.
made in 1977. It was an arrow release. You might be able to still get it, but this is House.
We'll put in the
the
show
movie-
notes. We'll put in the show notes.
Yeah.
Are you recommending this movie? Or
I
people are
love
going to say,
House.
fucking Ricky's
I
tasty movie?
love House. I love
Okay.
House. It's one of
Yeah.
those teenage Japanese horror films. Love House.
We'll put that right next to the link for the Tool discography for people to absorb, just in case they weren't exposed.
No,
if you think I'm fucking with
put
you,
the
I'm not. I'm putting
Pussifer
it in there. I'm putting it
discography.
in there.
Don't put in the Tool one. Put in the Pussifer one.
Yeah, it's the band where Maynard's wearing wigs all the way through.
No, he's wearing
Just like Pepper
a
Circle.
wrestler
Yeah,
mask now,
whatever the
like
fuck.
Mexican
Is
wrestler
it now?
mask.
Is now? That's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Lucha Maynard. Now about the droids. These are the droids you're looking for. We had a long, very, very illustrious series of actors playing the droids in these movies. Ian Holm played Ash in the original Alien. We had Lance Henriksen playing Bishop in both Aliens and Alien Cubed. Alien 3. Yes. And then we had what's his name?
Oh, Michael Fassbender.
Michael
Come on.
Fassbender playing David and Walter. He gets, I wonder if some people actually didn't get that was quite confusing for some people in the plot of Covenant. They didn't understand that David actually killed fucking Walter, took over. I had an entire conversation with somebody.
Really?
That,
What?
Yeah.
What?
They
Really?
didn't
They
realize?
completely went over their head. They hated the movie so much because they had preconceptions of some kind of. Yeah.
What?
I had to
There was a
explain to
really
them.
obvious scene.
Yeah, to a certain extent, it is obvious and it isn't because obviously that's the
He's got like something behind his back that he walks up to
that's
him and
the
he grabs
curtain
him on
that
the
is pulling
shoulder.
over the
and
eyes
he's-
of the entire cast of every protagonist in that movie. It's basically because they think it's Walter, but it's not. It's David. Anyway, whatever.
I'm really sorry, audience, whoever you are, but if you felt that same way as well,
Okay, so now
switch off.
don't want you here. Yeah, switch off. Okay, so do you know? Here you go. We're gonna play this game with no prizes. Do you know what the model number of Ash and Rook, or at least Rook's model number was? If you don't, just
do
fucking
not
say no so we can
know.
move on.
I don't.
No.
Okay, so Rook was a Hyperdyne system droid, yeah, just like most of
Yeah,
them.
Terminator. Yeah.
And it was 120A2. That is the Rook model number, okay?
So
Now,
he was the
David
science
Johnson.
specialist, right?
Yeah. David Johnson, most of them are, anyway. So that's the role of a droid, pretty much. Store data and just
Yeah.
regurgitate it.
No,
you
so
know.
there's mining and other stuff as well.
Yeah, well, of course,
There's
but-
different variations.
Yeah, but you could have, I guess they have multi-purposes as well. Bishop is considered Bishop in Alien Cube is considered the model number is Bishop 2. He's laughing every time I say Alien Cube. The more you fucking react like that.
I'm trying my hardest not to, but there you go.
Okay, well, you're trying really poorly, but anyway. And the serial number that Andy has, so I assume that that's his model number, because when you were talking about not enough floor being found, that's when I was disappointed, because I was given a serial number. I thought, a serial number and a model number are two different things, actually. So the Andy serial number was ND255.
Did
And
you just say
now we
Andy
know
too?
ND255. Which,
Five.
thank you, because I didn't realize that until you fucking pointed it out now. It makes me feel extremely stupid that phonetically I didn't pick that up. ND255.
Oh yeah, I'm Andy
my
too. Hello, Andy too.
Oh, you say that David and Walter are the same fucking droid? Shit, man. Oh my god, thank you for making me feel really dumb. Andy255. Yeah.
Andy too.
Yeah. Anyway, so these are definitely the droids you're looking for. However, let's go back to the one a lot of people had problems with. The likeness of Ian Holm being used. Who wants to take, because a lot of people are pissed off online, man. I've seen a bunch of comments, even just as we speak, people are still fucking commenting about it.
All right, I'm going to go on a deep dive.
You're gonna lead with
gonna go on a
He's
deep
going to
dive.
go.
I'm going to jump on
this.
One of the things that that was mentioned in many of the interviews that I saw was Fede basically saying that like every other android has had at least 2 movies. So you had Bishop, played by Lance Henriksen, who'd had Aliens, and he had Alien 3.
Yeah.
And then also you had David.
I think Alien Isolation also features Ash.
Yes, it does.
Steve Maynard.
But for some reason, Fede didn't count any of the video games, even though he did have a few elements of the video game.
Steve, is Isolation canon?
Isolation is supposedly canon.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be the best person to state that categorically. It's set within the same universe. We know that Ripley had a daughter. We understand. We knew.
I think
what
it's canon,
Ripley's daughter.
I think it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I think it is. Ricky, hold on, because there's something else as well. We didn't mention the Dark Horse Comics run. Because there's and that's some of it is
so
canon.
Much.
There's too much. There's scope, and don't think that we're not mentioning because we don't know about it. Oh, we do. We grew up reading these comics, but we're not.
It's so expansive.
Yeah.
I will say this about the Alien Isolation game. So the emergency communication stations, which we use as checkpoints, this actually featured in the movie.
They did.
They paid respect to it?
So there is respect to that.
Yeah.
So I think
they pay homage to fucking everything. They pay homage to Ripley's Reebok shoes, man. Did you see? Did you see the Reeboks on the letter?
Yeah,
let's make some money. Fucking
make
hell.
some money.
Yeah, but I thought that would happen after. I don't think that those Reebok shoes were promoted when Aliens came out.
No,
I think they came out after.
No.
Well, there you go. So this immediately, dude. 2 days after release, I remember seeing fucking.
Did you buy a pair?
I don't put you like Anna likes this.
Now you're thinking about it.
No. It's just that what are they called? That type of shoes that are
Reebok.
taller.
High tops.
High tops. They're not for me anymore. I'm past them.
I still love them.
Yeah, I love high tops.
I'm regressing in different ways. I'm buying stupidly fucking large.
If we make any money on this, shall we all 3 buy these high tops?
do you want the only people listening to this fucking podcast by now is us?
Yeah.
So
let's go back. Right, let's go back. Ian Holm. Was I talking about Ian Holm?
I was asking
I was talking about the androids. So, like the last 2 is David. David appears in Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Yes,
but
maybe in something else that we're not aware of. But
Fede, had this idea of having an
Fede. It's a fucking courier service.
Yeah, Fede.
Fede. It's Fede. Federico.
Every time I want to say it, I'll just do that, and then you say it. All right, there we go.
Go, Fede.
Go on. He said that he wanted to give Ian Holm a second film, So he said that, why don't we
He's
do
fucking
this?
dead.
And Ridley Scott said, yeah, I've been friends with him for a while. Yeah, that's fine. Why don't you do it? It'll be fine. He'll be okay.
When
Thankfully,
did this conversation take place? I don't. Fucking
it was
Ian Holm
during
died in
production.
2020.
It was during production phase, right? And then, like, basically, Ridley Scott said, like, he's a mate of mine. He wouldn't mind. Thankfully, I'm going to put my thumb up for Umba to say his name.
Fede.
There we go. Said that he didn't just go by Ridley Scott's suggestion. Thank God.
Bullshit.
But he
That's
did
bullshit.
phone the widow of Ian Holm.
That I
And he
believe.
basically said, like, it is going to be weird because, you know, I've recently lost my dad and I can't imagine what your kids are going to go through when they see their father on screen again to do this role. And she was like, it's absolutely fine. I've talked to my kids, all of that stuff, blah, 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 blah. So that's why they went forward with it.
That's beautiful. And that's great. Did you know that Ian Holm was married 4 times? Yes. And there's
No,
a
I did
possibility.
not.
Yeah.
How many
was
kids did he have?
No, there's no problem with that. There's no problem with that at all. He was unlucky in love, whatever the fuck. But that means that he may have been paying alimony or money to other people as well. Also, Hollywood, after Lord of the Rings, kind of turned his back on him. Because he died in 2020 and he died of fucking
Did
Parkinson.
he?
Which is
Oh
the
my
worst thing,
goodness,
Parkinson,
yeah.
which is the worst thing that can happen to an actor. Like Bruce Willis'
Parkinson's,
aphasia. It's really bad. So
my grandfather had Parkinson's.
there you go. And my sympathies go to you because of that. But I assume that, yes, maybe a personal call was made, and I don't blame the widow at all. But hopefully they offered a reasonable amount of money. This wasn't just asking for fucking permission.
Yeah.
They must have given some money because it's the minimum that you can do because you're profiting. You know, this movie was made for 70, 80 million, whatever the budget was. It already made 121 million. Already. That's by today's standards, that's not bad. That includes distribution costs of 70, 80 million. And it also dethroned fucking Deadpool and Wolverine, dude. This money has made more than Deadpool and Wolverine. Regardless of what you think of that, that's a money machine by today's standards because the industry has changed. Yeah, and money are made on streaming media because that's what it is. No money. It's not that it makes more, but it's just the distribution channels have changed. So yes, I really hope that Fede made that call. But he dwells and operates in a world that we will never understand. You know, this is fucking Hollywood, man.
We don't understand it.
We don't. And whatever we're told, it humanizes the situation. But yes, I also sympathize with the people that... I don't sympathize with anyone that would judge publicly anybody. You know, when I get upset at Ridley Scott, I'm not judging him. He's just pissing me the fuck off because there's a part of me that really resents the possibility of, very, very probable, of us turning into an older, bitter... Well, not bitter, but... Look, the last time I sympathized with Ridley Scott was a shot of him standing in his driveway and smiling. And he was smiling. There's a shot. Go online. There's a shot of Ridley Scott smiling with his hands on his hips, and he's standing on his driveway outside his mansion. And he's staring at Puff Daddy's house while he's being raided. Which is the whitest fucking thing an old bitter man can do if there's loud music coming from his house every night. Are you looking, Steve?
No. We've already had this conversation, so I know exactly where it's coming from.
That is the only time I sympathize with him, but I fear it. I fear it because I know that the older we get, the more locked into your little box you get. But then, you know...
Oh, he's loving it, yeah. Like, he's just stood outside his house, and he's got a big smile.
Seeing the picture? Are you seeing the
he's
picture?
looking towards a policeman.
If our listeners are listening to this, I'll put it in the show notes.
From entering his own house while the police raid his neighbor P. Diddy. Quite the picture.
Mate, it's the last time I sympathize with him. But then you send me all this, but you send me.
There's another image. He's walking away from the policeman with his hands still in his pockets, looking quite pleased with himself that he is not being raided. He loves
when I
it.
saw
Just
it,
thinking,
when he made my day,
did he
dude,
make that call?
maybe, dude.
By the way, P. Diddy is right next door. Come on over.
yeah, they're neighbors. They were neighbors.
Yeah.
But anyway, point of the matter is, I get it. It's terrifying because it's not even that you lack self-awareness. It's not even a lack of flexibility. It took much longer for someone like Ridley Scott to understand. Spielberg understood it. Jackson understood it. I think when the bag is empty, you don't realize it because you're holding the bag. When the creative bag is empty, you need to walk away. And as much as I'm saying that, yeah, it's easy for me to say it. But when you're in it and you're surrounded by people saying yes, yes, it's difficult. And the best thing that you can do, fucking Jackson took 2 flops to get it, but he got it. He got it and walked away, and now he's a producer. And that's what you need to do. You step back and let other people shine. And this was Ridley's first attempt. For someone as domineering as he sounds. And the other thing is, and I'll put this in the show notes, is because you rarely can appreciate the praises sang towards Ridley Scott or in his favor. And it was Russell Crowe. Which, as much as the older he gets, the more appreciation I have for him as a person. His latest movie was dog shit. Not the Pope Exorcist, the latest one. He made 2 Exorcist movies, or 2 movies with exorcisms in it in the last year. And the latest one is not even a horror movie. It's fucking weird. Just really weird. But you watch it because you're mesmerized by Crowe's performance. He's a great actor.
I mean, he is the best thing about the Pope's Exorcist. Also.
Yeah, well,
but everything else about the Pope's Exorcist is bad. But
I heard that it's like George from Horror Weekly was talking about it. It's like worth watching just because he's riding around in a Vespa, and I want to see him muffin top over the Vespa. You know what I mean? Because it's quite large.
I'm gonna bring this around, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason I'm gonna bring this around is because there's a few things I want to hit before we start talking about the end game.
Go, please.
Number one, I'm not sure about the gestation period of the alien. I'm not sure about the gestation period of the facehugger on what was her name?
Yeah, because that happened.
The gestation period was so short. It was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you don't know. You don't know what.
It was 20 minutes. It was 20. No. At most, it was 20 minutes because they had 36 hours before the station.
Yes, I agree with you. It
was 20 minutes.
But there is footage that is so brief and yet gives exposition, which is the mutation of the rat. It's a creature this big and then mutates into this monster. You will see that thing. But it's sci-fi, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, but but on top of that,
know what the Black Goo does.
Yeah, but
besides
still,
validating fucking Ridley Scott's shortcomings.
Yeah, but this is what I don't like about it. I don't like that they messed around with the gestation period. Not only the gestation period of
9 months. Like this podcast is going to last 9 months. This episode.
No, but
the gestation period of this episode is dog shit.
With Alien, the gestation period was about 24 to like 60 something hours. It was a couple.
That's
it was
presumption.
Over a day.
You don't know. You don't know when they come back to the ship.
We have no timing.
We have no timing. I agree with Steve.
Alien.
But
don't make me fucking validate these choices. Don't make me do this.
I will do because it wasn't 20 minutes.
If you start acting like this, then the entire movie doesn't work.
20 minutes.
Don't do this.
No. So that
you're bringing plausibility into this. It don't.
So the gestation period was interrupted. Yes, on this one.
Yeah,
that's one thing which we have a difference in. But where the incubation of a single alien in the chest, but then obviously we also had the time difference as well with how the gestation period actually wakes up to having food to it all happening, where we got a very different situation in this. We have an interrupted or aborted insemination.
Steve, that's beautiful. And besides this amount of praise I'm ending you right now, which is huge, when you look back at our friendship, I really want you to treasure this moment because it's possibly the only time we agree on something or anything. Ricky, I'm leaving this in as well. I made I'm not going to make it unless you guys agree. I think Rick is right. And I think we should divide because we're hitting the 3-hour mark. And you know what I'm going to do?
We have to.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to divide this in 3 parts. So if people are enjoying it, yes, Yes.
3. I'm only saying 2. I'm not saying 3. I'm saying 2.
It's madness. All I'm saying is...
megalomaniac over here.
No. Hey,
Jesus.
well, fuck you, man. I'm in this band, and I'm in this band, and I'm in this band.
Mussolini.
You got an ego the size of a shit house.
Is speaking.
This is my fucking balcony. Listen, we're gonna
Just hang around, yeah?
This microphone must be clipping, man. Clipping. Without the G at the end. Clipping. We're gonna divide this in 3 episodes, I think. And at the end of this episode, I'm leaving this in as well. So you're listening to this. You, the viewer, are part of this community. And the community is very important to us. So it's essential that you understand that we want you to be a part of the process. Today, you're getting a practical example of what that means. So if you're hearing our plans, it's because you are part of our plans. That's praise. Yeah? If you're still fucking here, I still believe that we're the only people listening. But anyway, we are going to split this in 3 episodes. I'm going to have part 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
I'm totally
good.
up for that. Yeah, for sure.
It's madness.
But it needs to be split up like that because, there is still so much.
But that, you see, if it was 20 years ago, they would have waited a fucking week for the episode. But now, because of streaming platforms, we want them all now.
Or trilogy.
Have you seen people complaining because a 10-episode series is not all available at once?
Have you? Is it? Oh.
Well, you are complaining about that. I am complaining about that.
I ain't complaining about it. I wish we had it week by week.
Breaking Bad was running, because that's a good example, because it was one of the last, the format has changed, but it was one of the last series around that period in which you had to wait a fucking week. Even Amazon
I feel
Prime.
like I'm waiting for a week for this to finish.
They're trying to... fuck you. I'm talking about the way things have changed. Even now they're trying to mitigate and please both people, which is, okay, when a new series comes out, they release 3 episodes. So you get, or 2 episodes. So you get 1, 2, and 3. Or like with The Boys, they did that. You go episode 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 2, I think. And then you had to wait a week.
Okay, but we're talking about a podcast talking about one movie, and we're coming into a hefty chunk of time.
We'll split in 3 episodes. And this
conversation... let's just carry
on. It's an amalgam.
All right. I'm going to clap now so we can remove this.
No, I'm not removing nothing, dude. Stop fucking clapping. Okay? Stop fucking clapping. I'm not cutting none of this out. None of this comes out. I don't give a shit. I really don't care.
All right. Anyway,
Steve
what I was saying about
God.
the gestation period, okay? Right. So the gestation period. I feel like this was the first film.
Have you noticed that Steve's hair is getting longer and longer throughout?
It's beautiful. I don't know why you keep picking on Steve. He's the best looking out of all 3 of us. I don't know why you keep picking on him.
Oh my God, dude! That you gave for Steve?
Thank
that's
you.
okay.
No. I recognize when my facial features don't add up too much. I will definitely say I'm the second best looking here, Umba. Okay, so that's
fucking piece of shit, Anne. Oh man, I'm seeking validation elsewhere. She's not even listening to me. That's fine.
Anyway, Jesus. Back to the gestation period.
What's the point you wanted to make? Go on. Gestation period. The gestation period. Yeah.
No matter what
your gestation period.
My gestation period.
Okay. Coming back to this, we are actually seeing an extra stage in the gestation period as well.
Can you say just that's very German of you. And can you say gestation again, Steve?
Gestation period.
One more time, please.
Gestation period.
Now just gestation and then period.
Period.
Gestation.
Period.
Defiance. That's defiance right there.
All right.
Okay.
So,
go.
Sorry, Steve, go for it. The extra stage.
Yes.
So we are actually seeing a cocoon stage where the... Yes! A cocoon stage!
Again.
And...
I'm sorry. When I get old, I want to go on a spaceship.
It looks like a human vagina.
I want to go on a spaceship when I get old.
It looks like a vagina.
Okay.
It does look like a vagina. And yes, and
it
looks like it's... Yes.
Yeah.
But it also looks on point with the original designs of H.R. Giger's
yes, that's true.
Pieces.
Another homage.
So this itself is a homage to H.R. Giger, who sadly passed as well. a few years back.
Several.
Several. But yeah, I mean, like, we're also seeing a not directly straight away when we actually see its feet uncurl. I think it's actually its feet uncurl, which is one of the very few times that we actually get to see the alien's feet in the series.
Are you? This is a Tarantino take on the feet of the.
Oh yeah, this is my Tarantino take on the.
You got a new fetish, new kick unlocked, new kick unlocked.
Tarantino, if you're listening to this, you'd be excited.
I know, yeah,
But what I find really,
the feet of the xenomorph unfurled. They unfurled.
Yeah, but because we actually see the hands on the head carapace.
Mm-hmm.
And then
carapace.
Below,
well done.
Yes,
it's a word that I don't throw in a sentence often enough, and neither do you.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's good. It's nice to use these words occasionally since we have so many of them.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
But also from the very sexual image of him shoving the electronic rod inside before he's promptly killed by acid. Well, it is kind of sexual because he's chucking it inside the vagina,
now
basically.
It is.
Come on.
I didn't see the...
You know this?
No.
Yes, you did.
Don't
even...
No, you know what?
You know what?
I don't fucking... Any sexual connotation, which, I still see sex as a pleasant kind of element of, human experience, it can be associated with the vandal from the Batman. I fucking hated that guy, dude. Again. I didn't want to see him on screen. It was a waste of my fucking time. Anyway, go on.
Okay, so what we generally see
also,
from
that sequence makes no sense to me.
What we see from the alien facehuggers is a rape scene, effectively. This is it. And we're also getting a sexual assault style
that's
scene
regular
from this.
Yeah. That's like Ash sticking the fucking rolled up newspaper in Ripley's mouth.
It's not a newspaper. Do you know what that magazine is?
I don't know. It sounds like it looks like a phone book, like an old phone book.
No,
that's what it looks like. The yellow pages. It looked like the yellow pages to me.
When you look at it in stills, it's called Deep Throat.
So
it's
what?
It's an actual magazine which was made, and it's called Deep Throat.
Look at your face because you got to fucking.
I'm so happy about that.
Listeners, you're not watching. You're not. This trivia. This is a bit of trivia that ranked as high as the xenomorph feet on his list.
Yeah,
and he just he just got to share with you all. His face is pure fucking. I've been friends with him for years, and I've never seen that level of enjoyment on his somatic features. Unbelievable. Okay. Jesus Christ, that's not bad. Oh my God! Okay, go on. So what's called? So is it like a porn mag?
It's a porn mag called Deep Throat.
Yeah, Umba.
I'm upset. No, fuck you, Ricky.
Umba,
you didn't know either.
I did know.
He's actually physically.
So why did it come out of your mouth?
Down.
Because I was looking
up... Because we're not talking about Alien.
Yeah, and I'm also looking up gestation period, and it says 8 to 12 hours, so,
Gestation period is a great name for a band.
Yeah, but still,
like Cannibal Corpse, gestation period.
Gestation period of this Alien isn't 8 to 12 hours.
It's not 8 to 12 hours.
By the way, I wasn't going to fight you on it. It's short. In the movie as well, can I say, the passage of time is not marked very well in this movie. And to reconnect to the point I said earlier, is because we don't get a night and day cycle, and that is not that we get it in the other Alien movies. The eating and what we're eating is a mark, is a timestamp. Having breakfast tells us that it's morning. It kind of helps. Yeah. It serves many points to several different types of narrative, not just within this universe of sci-fi or whatever. It's an essential part of building a story, and it's missing from this dude. The fact that they don't eat together really fucking pisses me off. It does, dude.
They don't eat.
No, I understand.
Says the Italian.
Well, look, the only reason, and people that actually have listened to this episode till now are probably, if they're still listening, they go, I can't believe they fucking missed out the fact that we are on a time, there's a deadline here. And there is. Yeah. If you think about it, and that's the thing that tells Ricky why it's too short. Actually, I realize they do have a time. There's a limited amount of time. So this movie is almost happening in real time.
In fact, one scene is actually done in real time.
Oh, I
The
didn't
30
check,
minutes.
but I didn't care to check
Yeah,
that.
it
Probably
is.
from the time they hit the station. What is the time? Is it
So when they say the
49 minutes or
30-minute
something?
warning,
I can't remember.
yeah, so there's a 30-minute warning, and then from the 30-minute warning all the way through,
And
it
it's
is
real
30
time.
It's in real time, technically.
Technically, or you're sure? Because people are going to
Well,
butcher
no,
you.
it
and-
takes-
it is only technically because there's a clip towards the end. We haven't even got to like towards the end, but you know when they.
Don't worry, I'm splitting this in 3 parts. It's fine.
But like the bit where after they have the whole elevator scene, and oh my goodness, I could talk for days on the elevator scene. But towards the end
Yep.
of the elevator
Yeah,
scene, you hear the voice going 10. Something like 10 minutes until
minutes.
blah, blah, blah. And they're both looking at each other as if like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then they cut,
And then it
Who's
cuts.
both? You're talking about Rain and...
talking about Rain
Andy.
and Andy. Andy.
okay.
Yeah.
Those are the two
And
characters
Andy.
and Navarro that we really
Yeah.
remember.
Right.
The fact,
So they
do you
got-
remember? Wait a second. Do you remember the name of the rest of the cast? Don't say anything, Steve. Ricky, because I want to prove a fucking point. Can you tell me
I
the name of the
remember
rest of the cast?
Bjorn. I remember Bjorn.
You looked at your notes, dude. I saw your
no,
eyes
I
travel.
know. I remember Bjorn, but yeah,
Bjorn.
you've said
Yeah.
it now, and all I
Tyler,
remember them.
That's the only one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
don't
that's a
remember.
problem.
Oh,
That's a
Kay.
problem.
I
Navarro.
remember Kay.
No,
Kay.
Navarro, which
Kay
is
was
the
pregnant.
Navarro, it's fine. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kay was
Kay's pregnant.
Yeah.
But what the fuck's the name of the other dude, man?
It was
Because they
the
paid
X.
homage to Aliens
The
with
X.
that gun sequence. That
He
was
was-
the homage to Aliens.
Oh, that's Tyler.
There you go.
That's Tyler.
yeah,
Tyler.
and I see you glancing at your notes, Steve. So
No,
I see
I'm
you,
actually
dude.
not.
Whoever's listening to us,
See you.
I see you, dude. I see you. I'm watching you.
I'd already said
I'll take you
Tyler
down.
earlier.
I'll take you down
Anyway,
to Chinatown.
you're cutting me out here. You're cutting me
Sorry.
out here, which is that there's a point at the end where it goes 10 minutes to go before the whole station blows up. And they're at the bottom of the elevator shaft. That shaft is not a small shaft. The elevator's out, and somehow they make it to the top before the 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, look, but you suspended disbelief, right?
Of
You
course,
did.
of course you do. But like
Because
you
of
know,
the pace.
But this is one of the weird things about when you look at action films now is that when they start putting in things where it's like these are directly the last half an hour, and we're gonna make this movie this last half an hour. It's all gonna be about the last half an hour, and then they go, oh yeah, but really we want that whole bit at the end with the offspring. To last
that's
more
shock
than
value.
15 minutes,
That's
you know.
shock value to land this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And, Rob Bob kind of brought
Rob
shock
Bob.
value because a lot of fucking people never got exposed to a necromorph
Now,
in that space.
I just-
They see this creature and they go, oh my God, there's instant repulsion. I get it. And it's scary because a lot of people saw that creature and all of a sudden the movie is back. Is back to scary grounds. It's back to a generation that grew up with Slender Man. Or grew up with, you know what I mean? Like it's the black eyes and the fucking long. It's a creature. It's a monster. And that's good. It's good.
And I thought it was incredibly great special effects, but in the sense of the actor who's portraying him, or it, I should say, the offspring, plus also the bodysuit, which I seriously think the bodysuit itself is well done. That's it.
What bodysuit? He's barely wearing any prosthetics, dude. That's what he fucking
yeah,
looks
it's-
like.
If you look at the back and where you got the tail,
Yeah, because it's
and
got
you've the other
traits of the
bits.
xenomorph. I get it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's but it's also
But no, I understand. You're talking about from the top of the head down to the chest. That is
Chest.
very much the actor.
Yes.
Yes.
no. I think
and
you should
even
look
the
at his
arms.
physiology
And,
because if you look
yeah,
at the rest of the
arms,
body,
legs.
that's his skeletal structure. When he towers over her, that's him. There's
Yeah,
nothing
but they-
added.
That's him.
Don't
He's
they
not on
add,
stilts,
like-
man.
Don't they add a lot of like extra nipples and all of that stuff down
They
there?
have-
that's
but that's a bodysuit.
That's a bodysuit. But when it comes down to his skeletal structure, that's him, and it's
And
fucking
that's why I likened it to what David Lynch did with a lot
the
of
physicality.
actors.
Yeah, you're right. It's unusual these days as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
you would have, on moral grounds, that's also something that some people may find questionable. Are you Are you using someone's physical appearance as a way to depict a monster? That's the thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were terrified by the sequence. Fuck, man. The shock value of that end sequence covered a false ending, dude. A false ending is the worst fucking thing you can do in a piece of original media these days. And this fucking movie does it twice.
Yeah, before we do the false ending, let me talk about two other things in the movie before we get towards the end. You know, and the first thing I want to talk about is there was a couple of scenes, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me on this one. There's a couple of scenes where they showed the xenomorph, and all they showed was like the head of the xenomorph. They showed the red coloring around it, and they showed a lot of dry ice and a lot of dry smoke. It reminded me of the video for Closer by Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It has.
It does. It does.
Very.
Oh. All your shit about Maynard? Gone. Head explosion, by the way. That sound is head explosion. People are not watching this, so that's head explosion. What does head explosion sound like, Ricky?
It goes...
Oh, that's a different explosion you do. Listen to mine. What's yours? Oh. What's yours, Sid? Okay.
All right. But anyway, the point is that like a lot, like Sally didn't pick up on it. So Sally was like, "No, I didn't feel that at all," and blah blah blah.
When are you getting divorced? On those bases?
It wasn't even that. But it was just the fact that like I saw that scene and I couldn't get Trent Reznor's face with the full, like, you know...
when he's covered in mud. It's fucking Lollapalooza, some shit of Woodstock.
You know, like, full on with his mouth wide open.
Sound again you just did now?
Was it?
Can I just say you would never sound as Indian as you did now? Can you do it now? Can you do it again? Can you do it again one more time?
Now you've made me self-conscious. Jeez.
By the way,
I want to rape you like a
no, Steve, if you do it, it's wrong.
I want to rape you like a xenomorph.
Oh my god.
Anyway, but there was a few of those scenes where...
What the fuck does that sound?
Okay. There was a few of those scenes where it was like a full close-up of the xenomorph with red around it, and I just couldn't stop thinking of like 90s, like...
music videos.
Yeah, those music videos. 90s,
remember,
like full
Alvarez
on.
was born in 76.
Yeah,
that's his fucking music. Have you seen the way he looks, dude?
He's a year younger than me.
He must be into the same shit we're into.
Now,
I'm pretty sure.
The second thing that I thought was super cheesy, right? Because they didn't mention it until then, was like, okay, we're about to see loads of xenomorphs. They're about to all appear out of the walls. They're all going to come out of anywhere. Blah blah blah. But
that's a fucking issue, by the way. And how many did we see? Because
we saw about 7 to 12. There was a lot.
Is that?
It was
because
huge.
in Aliens that works, right? Because they take over.
But remember, this is a space station.
Yeah.
This has got loads of captive. We see.
Yeah, but this is assuming that they were already there.
Yeah, but you mentioned Fede being. Come on, this is one of the things that you stated to me about Fede being in the film.
Oh, yeah. The alien architecture.
Yeah.
It's a theory. I didn't check this online, and if anyone is listening to this, they can check themselves. I don't want to check because I'm pretty sure, and I don't want to get disappointed because I don't deal well with disappointment when it comes down to something like this. This is a factoid. What I assumed is that the first time...
it factoids.
It's a factoid. It's a sex toy from the future, and I dare you, for anyone listening, including you guys, if one of you is going to... Steve is going to... He's going to have to put a plug in on his phone so that he doesn't do it from his phone. I dare you not to go on Google right now and look for fuck toys.
No.
No.
You do it.
No.
You do it.
You do it.
You do it. You do it. You send us the results. You screen grab those results. You do it.
Wait a second. Say that's more words.
No.
You do it.
Oh, God.
You do it.
That's not coming up in my searches.
Go on Google and look for factoids.
So,
anyway, you were saying...
Okay. No, wait. I was saying as one word, factoids. Don't
Don't do
Like,
it.
don't go online and look for fuck.
You know, my in-laws are probably going to listen to this. Thanks for this, Umba.
I hope
Thanks.
they are. I want you to die in destitution alone.
Okay,
Miserable, but
So
I
you
love
were going to
man.
say we're talking about the amount of aliens and all that stuff. Come on.
Okay. So no, Steve was talking about that, but
so we have to understand how many facehuggers there were.
yeah, wait a second.
Eggs
The
and
fatal
everything
virus.
else.
Let me finish the fatal virus thing. Sorry,
how
I
it-
lost myself. When the first body incorporated by the alien architecture, we see that the first time in the alien universe in Aliens, how they, I think we see it in Aliens. I can't remember.
We see in Aliens.
We see it in Aliens,
We do.
right? Yeah. In Aliens Hope, when the Marines go in, they see that some of the colonists have been absorbed inside the alien architecture, the xenomorph architecture on the walls of the corridors. You remember that? Some of them are still alive or kept alive in some kind of stasis gestation bullshit. And and I'm not sure that there's a name for this state, and someone's going to pull us up on it for sure.
Yeah. Just call it
like
a pupa state.
Stasis, whatever, pupa, whatever the fuck. Yeah. So that's as close as it gets, I guess.
They're being ready. They're being pretty much made for incubation for
there you go.
the facehuggers.
It seems like the source of sustenance, maybe. And and the first body you see, I am 100% like safe in saying that was, and I was dying to tell you this, Ricky, but we had a self-imposed embargo, so not talking about it. Like,
and he still told me.
I told you, and that's when you fucking piece of shit, you gave us away. Yeah, unbelievable, man. I'll never ask you to do crime, never. Never. Unbelievable, man. Anyway, Ricky's going to hold a grudge for this. But anyway, that's when he fucking pulled us back into the realm of morality by saying, we're not meant to talk about it. But anyway, point of the matter
it's fucking
is...
Fight Club, mate. You knew it was Fight Club.
It's not... His name was Robert Paulson.
His name was Robert Paulson.
His name... Point of the matter is, I'm pretty sure that there was Fidel Vargas, and it wouldn't be the first time that a director placed himself in a movie. Like Scorsese did it, Hitchcock did it. There's 10,000 examples.
I was about to say, in the area where all the facehuggers were like hanging around and all that stuff, I actually thought you were gonna, because you kind of mentioned it to me, but not completely. I thought you were going to say the guy whose brains were like completely blown out and was kind of hung up there in status.
Wait,
I thought
then
that
I was having this conversation with you.
Yeah, I thought that was the guy.
That's Fidel Vargas. Then
the guy who was hung up in the facehugger room.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all that stuff.
I'm pretty sure it was him. I didn't even check.
Basically hanging down.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was that guy.
Yeah.
Now, before we go on, I just want to say I love the zero gravity xenomorph blood scene.
Okay, I didn't
love that.
I do, and I don't.
Yeah, I do and I don't.
It pays homage to other things.
But that's space.
Yeah.
That's space.
Yeah.
That's the entire fucking thing that
Yes, it
Isaac
is
can
Dead
do.
Space. It is Dead Space. It was so good to see it visually, and for someone like Sally who hasn't played Dead Space, I've played Dead Space.
Did she like it?
She loved it. She loved that scene, and she loved the whole like using the gun to like propel herself into different
real life.
I was expecting that to happen as well, though. The moment
But
that's the thing, dude.
But that leads to a horrible scene, which is the elevator scene.
Yeah,
which
there's
is
a lot wrong with that.
Why does the xenomorph save her?
The hesitation. No, that's the hesitation after because
saves her. Puts her to one side, the elevator comes down, disappears. Not only does the xenomorph comes out to be like, oh, I didn't really die, but our facehugger comes out.
Can I think there's a ton of rewrites here.
Yes.
Because,
definitely.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
It's possible that at some point she may have been impregnated with something. And that's why the Xeno would have... If she was impregnated with, if she was pregnant and she was impregnated with a facehugger,
or the queen,
same fate that Kate suffered, because that's what a xenomorph. Which, by the way, that actually is another problem with the movie. how the xenomorph attacks her when she was she already impregnated, or it's after that scene? Apparently she survived the attack. I can't remember that, because apparently a xenomorph, that first of all, that if you're carrying a life that is akin to theirs, they're not going to kill you.
You don't get touched.
She's not.
You don't get touched.
Yeah.
And that's the... It seems that there's rewrites here, dude. I agree with you. That's the only thing, because otherwise it's a big oversight. That entire sequence was like, oh...
But that whole sequence as well, it just was cheese upon cheese upon cheese. Like the xenomorph poking its head out, being like, I wasn't dead, bitch. And then the face hugger suddenly coming out of nowhere. And then Andy coming down, shooting everybody.
But you know why?
And then
I'm so
ending
forgiven.
it with...
Get away from you. Get away from her. You Is that what you're talking about? You want to do it? Do it.
Yeah.
No, because because there's another episode coming up where I say that word pretty well. Anyway, but
can someone do it though, Steve? Can you do it because you do it well? What does our friend David Johnson as Andy 255 say?
It's like something.
Even that, he makes it work though. It makes it
work because it's that hesitation, that slight hesitation.
Yeah, it's like
it's
fan service, but it's self-deprecating because we know that it's self. You know what I mean?
Like, you see, like personally, I didn't like that. I didn't like if you're going to say the line, just say it.
No, I disagree because he was back to Andy. You know that he was back to Andy, so he had to have the stammer. So it works as well.
Anyway, and that leads to the problem of, like, you hear over the tannoy, 10 minutes to self-destruction, and somehow they make it all the way back up.
It was like half an hour.
We're going to make it all the way up to the end of the elevator and all that stuff.
I'm glad you've gone Christopher Nolan on this, and time is such a fucking issue. That's great, man. Time will be an issue for the rest of Nolan's career.
Yeah, and then, like, and again, I feel like we haven't paid enough attention to Ian Holm because through this movie he becomes the villain of this piece. He is the villain, regardless.
I would rephrase the question, or the point you raised. It's not Ian Holm.
No, it's Daniel Betts. It's Daniel Betts basically doing a facial and vocal performance.
Yeah, that's the very
original.
I'm not taking this out. Basically, this comes back to: is AI good enough? Is AI good enough to replace people who have passed? And my answer is no. We've still got uncanny valley.
Your answer should be not yet. We're still in uncanny valley. Yeah,
we still have that.
Did you know that it was a mixture of CGI and AI? It wasn't just AI, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it is. Look, man, this is akin to something else that has happened recently or within the last half decade. The other one was something that I had to revisit 2 or 3 times and I still have issues with, but it's still good in its own right. And because of the technical issues within it, which is stupid, it was The Irishman by Scorsese. We both love Scorsese.
Yeah.
I think someone told me, but I don't know if it's real or not, in regards to The Irishman. Someone said to me that they re-edited, or at least sequences, but I wish to find a full cut. Someone apparently has done a full cut with deepfake, the one that is available to any end user, to redo the aging sequences in The Irishman. That movie is a phenomenal movie that suffers so much from this that it's a distraction from the main plot line. And that's the way...
Destruction or distraction?
Destruction. Or destruction,
yeah.
whatever.
Both of them
kind of
at the same
it kind
time.
of ruins the movie. It devalues Scorsese's work. Fuck, man, it took Killers of the Flower Moon, which if you haven't seen, it's a phenomenal movie, but that's a whole different thing. But you have an entire legacy almost tainted by the only title in his portfolio of phenomenal filmmaking that kind of ruins the rest of his work almost, because it's really bad. I can't believe that someone didn't put their hand up and go, fuck, man, this doesn't work. If you watch The Irishman, the CGI that has been used to de-age the actors is so bad. And we're talking not the actors. We're talking about fucking Pacino and De Niro. So
this is the reason why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, dude, and I'm telling you, it's hard to watch because of the de-aging, but the movie is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal movie.
It's a greatly shot movie. The script is so tight.
It's very tight, and it paces furiously for what it is.
The actors who have been picked to play the real life characters that they're meant to pick, perfect. Al Pacino as Hoffman is amazing.
Fuck, man, and this is Al Pacino who's like getting loopier and loopier as he gets older, and it still works. It still fucking works. But
you know what? I know exactly what you're talking about. I pointed this to Sally when we were watching The Irishman. There's a scene where De Niro's meant to be like 30-something, and he's outside, and he's dealing with somebody who hasn't paid their whatever they
the kicking sequence you're talking about.
The kicking sequence.
Kicking like an old man.
And he kicks like an old man.
I know.
He's like,
that's...
And
Dude.
you know what? It's the same thing with Marvel movies, because there's especially in Miss Marvel, every time you see Samuel L. Jackson running down a hallway, he runs like an old man. And he can't help it because his arms suddenly go up like this, and he's like...
You better prep yourselves, because if you want to bring this to a topical fucking level, you wait until... Because one of us in particular here, which is Steve, man, no, dude, I'm not... Come on, be yourself.
Are you saying that Steve runs like an old man?
No, Steve gets a hard-on every time there's a fucking Avengers trailer, and I saw the hard-on in the dark theater. It's fucking Harrison Ford.
Of Craven. Was it Craven?
No,
was he like, Craven the Hunter?
It's Harrison Ford in the Avengers movie, and trust me when I tell you that unless he fucking really fights every urge he has, I will get a phone call with him going, the equivalent of him going, do you want to go see the beekeeper? Like, and I say, no, fuck you. And I question our friendship for the rest of the fucking day.
I'm just going to say that even in a set episode of Everybody Dies, I quite like the beekeeper, mate.
I don't give a shit. I like the boys. They're great. And if you want to listen to a better podcast, go listen to in this episode of Everybody Dies. But
I'm just going to say, right, it's a fun... action
the
movie.
more you go down this path, the more I will never fucking watch it. You could be by my bedside on my dying day, and I will go.
This is
Steve. You want to watch
it again?
We know. Look, Steve, me and you know Umba very well. The minute that we even like give a whiff of that we like something, he goes, no, never. I could say to him,
I'm not that guy.
I could say to him, okay, Umba, here comes the question. Have you watched a single episode of Succession yet?
Not yet, but
there you go. He doesn't like it because too many people like it. Too many people like Succession. Oh my goodness, too many people like Succession.
No, I just didn't have time.
Okay, let's get back to the movie.
Busy with my papers.
Let's just get back to the movie.
All right, clap out.
No, there's no fucking clap out. Stop it. And plus, this is the 1930s, dude. We don't need a fucking clapboard. By the way, it was used after that. Anyway, now,
all right.
So
So we've got to the end line.
No. I'm talking about Ian Holm, and I'm going to close this, which is we're talking about what the uproar was about, using his likeness, whatever. At the end of the day, we're talking about Uncanny Valley. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, we are.
Human beings have a repulsive reaction to anything that tries to emulate real life when we spot that something isn't right. And it's just the way Uncanny Valley works. And these days, actually, when it happens, it's even worse. Because technology got so much better that when we get that reaction, it's almost primal. It goes back to, what the fuck? So the more... But we're going to cross that line soon. We're going to cross that line, and then we won't be able to discern what's human and what isn't. And that, to me, that's not scary because I won't be here. I won't be on my driveway calling the cops on Puff Daddy. First of all, because I will never own a mansion. Secondarily, because I dread the level of fucking self-absorption I might get to when I get to 82.
Say, like, if anybody wants a real direct comparison to what Uncanny Valley feels like, all you have to do is watch any, and even on
Japanese
YouTube,
robot videos.
No. I was going to say, even if you watch videos of Until Dawn that was released on Sony PlayStation a while back and is getting a re-release soon, there is something really wrong with Rami Malek in that. Something. You know exactly what I'm talking
really
about.
Wrong with everything.
There's something really wrong with Rami Malek in that.
Takes 10 minutes. It takes 10 minutes to adjust to Rami Malek. That's another theory I have.
Oh, I think it
10
takes
minutes
longer. I think you're
Really?
giving him a
No?
but I think he's only on the screen for 10
I saw
minutes.
people fucking watching a Queen movie, including myself, going, ugh, the first 10 minutes and then crying at the end. So,
Who knows?
Yeah.
But like,
what
no,
was Mr.
Until
Robot?
Dawn.
Was it called Mr. Robot?
Mr.
Yeah.
Robot.
I love
Yes.
Mr.
Fucking
Robot.
imaginary
Good.
Christian
I love
Slater's
Mr.
dad
Robot.
to like that. That was fucking great. Christian Slater. Was
Recently I finally got to the end of Mr. Robot and I still love it. But anyway,
It's great.
But what I mean in Until Dawn, there's
Are you
something
implying that the
weird.
latest season of Mr. Robot, which I haven't seen?
I have seen every single part of Mr. Robot and I still love it to bits. But anyway,
Steve,
Let's
did
get
you?
back to the. I haven't seen the last series season.
So you agree
or
with my
the-
point? We dropped out.
We dropped out.
Yeah, we
that's
dropped
fine.
out.
But
That's
drop-
fine.
I dropped out.
I watched
Drop
the
out.
final. I watched the final season, and I still love it to bits. But anyway,
Okay.
what my point is, the
Are
whole
you
uncanny
recommending it to whoever's listening to this?
definitely, and I would watch it again in a heartbeat. If somebody said to me, "Oh, I've never watched
Can you
Mr.
rank
Robot,"
the last season of Mr. Robot as your favorite Tool album? I mean, sorry, akin to a Tool album? Wait.
you're being really
Oh,
bad.
No.
You're being really bad
facetious.
here.
Fuck you, I like Tool. So I
Okay.
need to know
All right,
the last
so
season of
if
Mr.
I-
Robot
the
is
last
what
se-
Tool album?
The last season of Mr. Robot would probably be closer to. Oh my god, it's. Okay, I do not want to say 10,000 Days, but I don't want to say Fear
Fucking
and
dog
Inoculum.
shit. You can skip the last season.
Oh, you
Compared to the
asshole.
rest of the work. Are you
Oh, you
kidding me?
asshole. I love
You didn't say
10,000
Anima.
Days.
You didn't say fucking
No,
Lateralis.
because
Fuck you.
because season
No.
3 and season 4 are Enema. Season 3 and season 4 are Enema of Mr. Robot, for sure.
Okay,
All right?
which is a good album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But Lateralis, I would
So
say
are you telling
season...
me Mr. Robot rents for 5 seasons?
Yeah, 5 seasons.
Oh, fuck, man. I dropped out after season 3.
Oh, mate. Season
Three.
4
I
is
dropped
great.
out.
Anyway, we're not talking
You're
about
that
Mr.
guy
Robot.
now. Oh, season, you
We're
got
not-
oh my god, man!
Season
you were
4
the same
was
guy
really
going
good.
around telling people, "Watch season 2 of Heroes, dude. It's not that bad."
It's terrible.
Hey, I'm not talking about Lost, though, am I?
Oh,
Who's talking
my
about
God.
Lost? Who's
Oh, by
talking
the
about
way,
Lost
hey,
still?
Yeah,
Hey,
we should.
hey.
A little bit because there's Lindelof. Maybe there's some
So,
J.J.
Black Goo.
Abrams.
The Black Goo, Damon Lindelof. Fuck you.
Oh,
sorry, that rhymed.
you mentioned Black Goo. Here we go. What do you think about the addition of Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but only in the last act of Alien Romulus?
Okay, we're gonna keep this nice and short.
Z1.
I think that this is what we've been prefacing.
Yeah.
No, what we've been preemptively alluding to, which is Ridley Scott being unable to just go, you know what, you cook, instead of being the father-in-law or hovering over you in the kitchen going, maybe you should do this or maybe you should do that. But what we're talking about is the Black Goo. And I do have a bunch of notes about it because...
For our listeners, I have just seen Umba
you're not
take up
hearing-
a load of paper that he had stapled together
can hear
and
it.
moved it over.
Yeah, thank you. You're being the fucking guy in the cinema with the dude that can't, like, you know, like a blind person. They have the person describing the movie. Imagine sitting next, or I mean, unless you were blind.
No, but that's why they have the audio
But
descriptions
unless
on the
you were
headset.
blind as well, and you couldn't afford, maybe you need to afford the guy that describes the movie to you, and you couldn't. You would sneak out. You would stand outside the theater
Hold
waiting
on.
for that
can
session.
Can I just pause here? I once walked into a cinema and it said AD blah blah blah, you know, audio description. I was like, whatever,
Yeah.
I don't
Was
care.
it-
I wanna
was
see
that
it.
happening with someone
And it was
describing the movie?
happening on the screen. It was happening on the screen. It was nobody had headsets on, and I had to sit there being like, he picks up the paper.
Did you watch
as
the entire
he-"
movie? Did you watch the entire movie?
I sat through the whole movie, and I was
What
just
was it?
like, I think it was just some, like, it might have been Zach Braff's Last Kiss, or it was just one of those
Did
little.
you go to the
terrible
movies to watch The Last Kiss, directed
films.
by Zach Braff?
Yeah, mate.
How
yeah.
the fuck could you talk about this publicly, dude? It's a High School Musical.
Mate,
all
I
over
watched
again.
a lot of films without
That's
you.
not what
without
this is,
you
mate.
being
I watch a lot of
prejudiced.
movies as well. This is a fucking fetish, mate. You keep
Anyway,
this shit
Say-
to yourself.
tell me
I
what-
mean, seriously. Umba,
What?
just your inability to take
What?
some films at face value. sometimes
you want to talk about Bullet Train and why I refuse to watch it?
Yeah, Bullet Train, for instance, which I think is a great, fun movie.
I was going to watch it at some point. It's bullshit.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah,
Some other people
This
like
is
it.
bullshit.
I'm not going to like it.
No,
Anyway.
no. No, it's not other people. It's my friends.
Anyway, can you get...
If a stranger came up and said to me, even on social media, so we watch this, I go, you know what, I'll put on my schedule. And I fucking would. But if you guys come up to me and go, hey, you really need... No. What is it? Water in a bottle of... What is that?
It's cherry Pepsi.
No, it's the remnants.
Pepsi.
It's the fumes of cherry
Remnants
Pepsi.
of my cherry
But
Pepsi.
What were you saying?
Water.
Well, what us as friends can't recommend to you because you'll never watch it.
No, that's not true. But every once in a while, I need to have something. It's like a pillar of a friendship. It's a little bit of disdain and hatred that I carry on throughout the remnants of this friendship. Can I just say that I am doing that with you on one movie. I'm doing it with you, Steve, on another movie, which is Bullet Train. And with DJ Kevin Nick, one of our friends, last night did something extremely facetious. And I was too tired, and I responded to it. And that was my mistake. Because the more I text him back, the more he doubled down on it. And now I need to talk about it very quickly while I look for my notes about the fucking Black Guru. Now, so I'm on target, okay? Yesterday, he sends me a message, and he goes... Just out of the blue, dude. It was really late as well. Super inappropriate if it was from anybody else. He goes, did you stay for the post-credit sequence in Alien Romulus? And I just replied with, what? He goes, did you stay for the... Like, no, there isn't one. And then, so I looked online, because we fucking left.
We left.
You know, then this led to me doing research about the first movie that actually did that. And the second movie that made it more valuable. The first movie that did that was a 1966 picture with Burt Lancaster in it. I need to double check. But the second movie that made it popular for the mass market was the Muppet movie. The Muppet movie in 1977 or 78 had a post-credit sequence that basically, like, the entire credits ran out and then the Muppets came on. I can't remember if it was Kermit or whatever. And one of them would say, hey, it's over. Go home. Bye.
Yeah.
And then I categorically could say, no, there is no post-credit sequence in Alien Romulus. And I texted him back. He waits a day till this morning. And then this morning, because I went to the gym really early, like at 5 a.m., like a psychopath, I don't know why he was up, but he sends me a message back going, oh, what about the credit sequence? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I already told you there isn't one. And it started again. So are you looking online now, Ricky?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you fucking... There is no.
No, there
Dude,
isn't
I'm
any.
telling you, there isn't one. But he keeps telling me, he's like, didn't you see it? Didn't you see it? He's a DJ KV Nick is a prick. I love him, but he's a prick. Right, okay. So we're talking about the Black Goo. I am looking at my notes over and over again. And as much as I have made a point out of, here we go. What we're talking about is not really the Black Goo, but it's
It's a derivative.
Well, yeah, it's the
Of the
agent or
alien.
whatever you want to call it. It's developed from it, which is called ZO1. And that is the driving force that pushes our nemesis in the movie, which is played by someone with the likeness of Ian Holm, trying to preserve this for the company, which is Weyland Yutani, right? The villains of the entire Alien franchise, pretty much. That's the one thing not to remember, not to forget. We keep forgetting that. We keep seeing the Xenomorph as the villain of the entire Alien franchise. I'm sorry, but the villain of the entire Alien franchise is not the Xeno. Is not the Xenomorph. It's a corporation, and it will always be a corporation.
Yes. Yeah.
We tend to forget this. Well,
But I was going to say that the likeness of Ian Holm suddenly turned into the vaudevillian, like twirly mustache, like, you know, villain.
he does,
from-
he does.
What are you doing? Why are you taking it off autopilot?
It's very scheming. And another thing that they kind of drilled in there involuntarily, I think, is this is assuming that the chip or the whatever little compact disc that is meant to represent the chip, the little copper
tiny bit.
disc,
the copper disc
is interchangeable among all models because they go from she takes it out. Rain takes it
and
out
she
of...
holds on to it.
Yeah, but this is implying this is technology used. It's like the equivalent by modern standards of saying that we are still... Yeah, absolutely. You can turn to someone's house and go, hey, you want to watch a movie tonight? Here's a VHS. And they go, what the fuck? Like, you can't...
Where can I play this?
You're saying we can't watch this movie? How about this HD DVD that one of the fucking people that backed it. But... How about this? Put in your... It's not going to work. It's like, what about this laser disc? Put it in your record player.
That's brilliant. Actually, I've never thought of that. Like, take your laser disc and put it on your vinyl player. See what you see.
I'm going to put this in the show notes. Because I had this thought earlier on this week. I don't know why, because I didn't put anything on social media about it. It was just serendipity. I came across a little clip of one of the guys, the surviving members of the Beastie Boys, in a podcast with, I think, Conan.
I
think I sent it to you. And they were talking about how they got really stoned one day in the rehearsal space, and one of them just fucking smashed the golden record that they received.
Oh, yeah.
And played it. And they put it on the record player, and it actually played music, but it wasn't their music. It was like Barry Manilow or some shit. Like, what the fuck?
So it was,
I put it in the show notes.
Yeah, there's a bit. This is a bit of a weird thing because I went on to a bit of a deep dive of it
with what?
Afterwards. With the records. So supposedly all the records have the same track on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's like...
yeah, there's music on there, but all they do is use the same one record.
Is there any reason why? Did you find out the reason why?
Is it like being rickrolled?
What? But whatever.
I don't know.
Like, no matter what you play, it's just, never going to give you up, never going to let you down.
But what's the body? What's the body that issues those golden records?
So they just produce these as awards.
Yeah, but
so
what
they
is
just
the
have
body
a template
that awards those?
I don't know. I
guess it's equivalent to an Oscar statuette.
Yeah.
But from...
Yeah.
What would you call it? It's
I've
not
never
called...
received one, so...
An Emmy is for television.
Steve, why haven't you got one? We've all got one.
Wait a second. So an Emmy is for television. An Oscar is for full feature pictures or whatever, for movies. And what's it called? It's going to be something stupider when you say it. We all know it.
So a golden record is for 500,000 units sold.
Yeah, but the body that issues it.
RIAA.
Ra.
Ra. Oh, it's Recording Industry Association of America. Yeah, exactly. So it'll be somebody like Warner Brothers or Capitol that are trying to get rid of all the records that they've just got stored up somewhere that nobody buys. You think that
they've got... Man, that's such a cheap move, isn't it?
Yeah, it's totally Capitol. I feel like I love Capitol to bits. There's so many bands.
That's the equivalent of dipping Ninja Turtle action figures into play the gold and giving it to people going, here's your Oscar. It's for fucking Donatello.
No, even worse than that. It's dipping your turtle figure in and being like, here's your WWE figure, child who is 8 years old. It's that sort of stuff.
Oh my God. Did you see that series called The Toys That Made Us?
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh, it's great.
Ricky, you need to watch that RoboDoc. It's phenomenal.
I do.
Watch it with Sally. She loved it as well. Everyone's in it.
Right.
Like Peter Weller's in it.
But
Paul Verhoeven's in it.
So let's rewind
let's
back.
get back
Kurtwood Smith is in it.
Yeah, let's rewind back.
Let's go back. We're getting close to the end.
We have pretty much got to the end. We've talked about the acid scene. We've talked about the elevator scene. Do we want to talk anything more about the Offspring? I think we have.
No, we have.
We've done the Offspring. What we've got to understand is, how did they get the facehuggers?
Oh, mate, I just think... I think it's very much like what Aliens or even Alien Resurrection was all about. And that was it. It's like there just happened to be, within the 20 years, somebody had
they should have had a queen, right? for the eggs.
Yeah,
Damn it.
but I think
Or they went somewhere and they harvested them. They picked
Steve,
up.
you just brought extra because
Yeah.
my god.
did they revisit
I
LV-46
think
and
that's
dig up the eggs?
I think they just revisited that same area and harvested a load of eggs and then freeze dried them because that was what they were. They were freeze dried.
No, wait a second.
Yeah.
They had there's a lot unexplained because they managed to create 01
The facehuggers?
from the black goo. So there was a lot of
Well,
genetic
Z1 was
mutation.
for-
This is
so
given for,
they-
wait a second. This is given for granted that we know that the facehugger is a pure xeno, and that's not the case. We don't know that. We don't know that because the experiments that we see are with other species. So, but anyway,
So,
can I bring us to the end and
So-
ask you how you felt about
Oh
this
no
movie individually?
no!
You got something else?
No,
What is it?
No. I've got two more things. Right, number one.
Go ahead.
This is
all right.
me.
Go on,
This
Ricky.
is me like shooting all over the place. Right.
Go.
So, actually, I'm just going to jump to what I've wanted to share with you guys for over a week. All right.
Go.
So you know that me.
Just
and
remember, I'm not cutting any of this out. It's
I hope
splitting
you.
3
I
episodes.
hope you're not. But if you do, this is
3
the
episodes,
best.
nothing.
This
It's 3
is
episodes.
this is the
Everything
best
stays.
thing to like separate out and just put as a bonus or whatever.
Go.
So you know
No.
that my wife and
part
I
of the
saw
show.
it separately. So my wife went
Yes.
first
Tell
thing
the
in the
story
morning.
quickly because Steve
Okay,
doesn't know.
so like Umba, I love you, Umba, to bits, and I will never change you for it. But he very much was very insistent that we should do Alien Romulus, and I kept saying to him,
just gave me a drink and it's amazing. Anna, what's in this? What is it? Wait a second. What's in this? This is nectar of the gods.
Water?
No, wait. I want to listen to you know.
Aquavita. It is Aquavita.
Fuck you. What is it, babe? The bison grass vodka and the apple, the tango, the apple tango.
yeah.
To our American listeners, what would you like the apple
Is there an apple
drink
tiger in
So,
America?
you mean-
appetizer,
so it's-
yeah. Well, there's
Yeah,
salad here as
so-
well, but so it's that and a little bit of energy drink as well, or just the appetizer. That's why it tastes much better. Yeah.
So this is Zabruvial. The bison
Zabruska.
grass.
Jesus Christ, you mispronounced that.
Zabruska.
All right.
Yeah,
You
okay,
got 10,000 Polish friends. I apologize to our
Doesn't mean
Polish
I can
listeners
speak
for Steve's
Polish.
lack of sensibility. Jabruszka.
Sorry, guys.
Jabruszka.
Zabruszka.
Jabruszka.
Yeah.
Jabruszka? What is it? What is it? Steve? What did you say?
Zabruszka.
Jabruszka.
But yeah, just add it with cloudy apple
Here we go.
juice.
Here we go.
Much
Stop
better.
clapping.
2,
Stop
1.
clapping. No. You're the shittiest audience to yourself. You just gave yourself a singular clap.
All right.
Okay, go. Sally, go. The
So
story.
Sally said to me, like, if we're going to do this, why don't you, it's one of us go in the morning and one of us go in the afternoon. That means the kids are looked after. So I was like, you know what? You go in the morning and I'll go in the afternoon. That's fine. Before she left, she said, hey, why don't you ask your mate? Now, moving to Australia, I haven't made too many friends. I'm afraid to say. I have
It's
a few.
difficult.
And how long have you been there?
It's hard.
It's like 5 years here.
It's hard. It's hard.
I have
It's
a
hard
lot
to be
of-
Ricky's friend. That's what it is. It's hard to be Ricky's friend.
I have a lot of work colleagues, but to be honest, like especially when you work in schools and all that stuff, you kind of put aside what you're really into to be talking to people at your workplace, which is fine. And then I've met this one guy. I've met a couple of people, but a lot of them have moved out of the area, whatever. So I've met this one guy who is Norwegian, right? And his wife
Really?
is Australian. Yeah.
Where is he from in Norway?
Oh my goodness!
My God, he's going to listen to this podcast.
He's going to listen to
and you
this,
Just
and I'm
going
going
to
to
know
say
where he's from.
I'm going to say a place, and he's going to be like, "That's not right, Ricky.
Say it.
We are not
Say
friends
it.
anymore."
What's his name, dude? What's his name?
Anyway, his name is. I call him K. His actual name is Kjetil, right?
Anne, how do you say Kjetil? Norwegian name in Norwegian. Huh? Kjetil.
There you go. You've got to actually bang on. There you go.
Yeah,
Anyway,
she's Norwegian. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, he moved over here when he was 18, right? No, Maybe he was like 20 something, but then he met his wife here. He met his wife at university. They got married, blah, blah, blah.
Very nice.
He has had no friends apart from, you know.
He's going to listen to this.
Yeah, no, that's what he said to me.
You make it sound like it's got some fucking dysfunctional personality.
We all do. We love it. We love each other. Anyway. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere,
that's
I
fucking
said,
beautiful, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes, we are all dysfunctional.
Yeah,
we're not fucking weirdos. We're just dysfunctional.
In 2023, I finally, basically, our wives met because our kids all went to the same playgroup.
Yeah.
I met him through his wife. I met, blah, 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 blah. And I said to him, how long you been in, blah, blah. Oh, what sort of music you into? Oh, okay, cool, whatever.
Was he into Tool? Did he say he liked Tool?
Yes, he did. And he likes The Perfect Circle. And wait. He also loves Radiohead. And he also loves Manic Street Preachers. And he also loves, basically, where
no
he
judgment
lived.
here.
Where he lived in Norway, and he's at least 3 years older than me. Where he lived in Norway, he would get some sort of European UK radio station. So there's a lot of stuff that we cross over on. Anyway, so I said to him,
"Are you fucking kidding me?" When I met Anna and she's Norwegian, she was a hardcore Tool fan. What the fuck do you think Norway is, man? Norway is 30 years ahead of the rest of the world, like Scandinavia.
When I met him, he showed me his collection of DVDs, and there is 60 to 70% British, UK sitcom stuff. So
he's a big Fab fan, right?
So,
that was huge.
Exactly.
It was huge in Scandinavia, yeah.
Yeah. And
okay, are you going to get some point that's related to the movie we're talking about?
Anyway.
Nice to meet you, Yetel. Great to meet you.
This is my friend, right?
Yeah.
This is one of my only friends out here. So I phoned him on Sunday, and I said... Basically, Sally said, "Why didn't you take a friend?" I'm like, "Why would I take a friend?" And she's like, "Go ask Kay if he wants to go and see her." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Did he come with you?
I texted him and I said, "Kay, come and watch the new Alien film with me." He's like, "Cool, awesome." When he gets there and sits next to me in the theater, he says to me, "Ricky, I don't watch any of these franchise films."
So he came over out of friendship. He's got one on you.
Well, mate, he came out to me to Knotfest and he was like, I don't know any of these bands. I don't listen to Slipknot.
That's what friends do for each other. That's fine.
The most
not a big
I know,
sacrifice.
He said to me, the most I know is Megadeth. And I'm like, great, let's stand for the whole Megadeth thing and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but he did, He then sat next to me and it's like, I don't watch these franchise films. And I'm like, okay, cool, all right. So you've not really seen Alien. It's like, yeah, the only Alien film I've seen is Alien vs. Predator. I'm like, right.
Okay.
And then he said, yeah, no, I don't watch any of these franchise films. I'm like, so Terminator. He's like, yeah, no, I've seen one of the later Terminator
man, did he
films.
enjoy the movie?
No, wait for it. I've seen one of the later Terminator films. I said, what, not even
Which
Terminator
one?
2? He's like, not Terminator 2.
Can I just tell you, as much as I love you, and I say this with affection, so I'm going to insult you with affection, for missing out the little bit of information that was required for you to know about yesterday. Yesterday was the global one-day release of the Terminator reissue in cinemas. And
not in Australia.
Not in Australia. Fuck you. No. You're not going to give me this other hemisphere bullshit. I am sure that it was global because it was here, it was in the States, and it was also in Australia. I lived there for over 10 years, man. I was in Melbourne, I was in Sydney. So you missed out. No, anyway.
No. Anyway, my
Which
point
Terminator
is...
did you see for the first time? Which Terminator?
Did he see? He saw Terminator Salvation.
You need to fix this, man.
What? I need to fix
I'm going to trash your fucking lights.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to trash them.
I'm going to trash your fucking lights, man.
Listen. So
Guys, we wrap this up.
Anyway, I went through a couple of franchises, none of them, right? So this was the first proper Alien film he had saw, right?
Steve, how do you feel about this, man?
Like I said, let's just carry on because we need to wrap this up.
Okay.
And I feel bad about it. But
you feel bad about it?
People are people.
Yeah.
Anyway,
people are people, and sometimes they don't get to see the same stuff that we do because we consume media.
Yeah, so
we breathe media.
I disagree with you. I think we are consumed by it.
So this is only part one of this weird day I had with Alien Romulus. So I asked him, could you write a review for me? And bless him, he wrote a way too long review for me. So I've taken sections out of this review
you injected some of that shit in here today?
Like no. This is all here, right?
I didn't know you lacked original thought to this extent, but that's good to know. Steve is smirking.
Anyway, so
thank you, Kieto. Can I say, Kieto, we would like to hire you and fire Ricky. Could you please join us?
Here we go. Anyway,
and watch the movies.
He said, "Let me I love this review, by the way. This is one of my favorite reviews."
Steve is having a fit, man. He's got American friends to entertain today. He's got shit to do. His hair is getting longer and longer.
Hey,
I'm
mate,
you're the one
who went on so many tangents today. But anyway,
go.
Anyway, let me preface this by saying that despite the text leaning more on that what I didn't like about Alien Romulus, I actually didn't mind the movie at all. It was good, mindless fun that didn't require too many brain cells. The film didn't feel like it had too much to offer in terms of plot and followed the same approach as a lot of monster slasher movies. Introduce lead characters, introduce antagonists, watch the characters be whittled down. The fact that the only two of the main characters, one which happened to be an android, survived Alien Romulus puts the movie on more of a bloodthirsty side of a golden ratio kill, which he explained previously, but I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah,
I expected those characters to live through it. The remaining characters felt like undeveloped stereotypes.
This is the thing that we don't give a shit about them.
This is the thing that I love the most. He actually commented and titled every single one of the stereotypes: the X, the jerk, the innocent, and the underexposed. There we go.
Agree.
Right.
I agree.
Further on,
great.
My biggest problem with the movie was the use of Ian Holm.
Oh, so he's one of those.
I feel that he hasn't even seen the original Alien, and he already says the use of Ian Holm.
So it's fine. We get the gist of it. We get the gist of it.
No, wait for this. I love this.
For real? You're going to read all of it? How long is this?
No. I've literally been jumping between paragraphs.
Okay. No disrespect to you, Kieto, but you're not here. And okay.
I'm usually oblivious to the obvious plot holes or devices, but I didn't take notice when it suddenly became very important to pick up rifles, while at the same time very important not to shoot the enemy.
Yeah.
The explanation that we may use the guns to scare off the xenomorphs without shooting it was pretty weak. So it was obvious that the guns were shoehorned in here because they would be more important to the plot later on. But as I said in the first paragraph, I did not hate the movie.
The guns were shooting there because they are proto model to the guns that everyone fucking loved when they were kids in Aliens. That's why.
He hasn't seen Aliens.
No, so he hasn't, but he's got the point. He's got the point.
Yeah, exactly. He could still
the more you talk about Yetel being this analytical, the more I'm going to fucking sack you. He's goes on point. So you're working against yourself.
I'm not
just
working,
fucking wrap this up, mate? And I want to meet this dude.
I'm not working against myself. I am trying to tell you that,
he's amazing. I want to meet him. Actually, I'll tell you, I'll replace you with him. As a friend, not on the show.
You can do.
As a friend.
But what I'm going to say to you is that somebody who doesn't even know the Alien franchise has picked up on a lot of things that we found negative about it.
All right, okay. So I'm going to bring us to the bridge. I'm going to ask Steve first, and then you, Ricky. Steve, no judgment here at all. Besides the weird shit you said earlier about the xenomorph feet, that's a different story. And that stays in for sure. Unfurl. The word unfurl has been fucking ruined forever. How do you feel about this movie? What would you rate it? What is your rating system made of? And would you recommend it? And if you do recommend it, to who?
So, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. And that's going to be 7 out of 10 alien eggs. But how's that sound?
Xeno eggs.
Yeah, Xeno eggs. Mm-hmm. And the reason for this is I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise. It does hit all the notes that you kind of expect from a franchise. There have been highs, there have been lows.
Yeah.
This is definitely in the mid kind of range as far as films are concerned. There are some standout points to this.
The mid range. You gave this movie a 7.
I gave it a 7.
That's not mid.
And,
that's
no. There's this as far as the other Alien.
Oh,
movies,
this is in the middle.
There's 9 Alien movies. This is in the middle.
So what's better than this one besides Alien and Aliens?
So
that's leading.
Alien Resurrection.
Sorry?
I prefer as a movie. Alien Resurrection, I prefer as a movie.
Well, shut up, Ricky. Yeah, wait a second, Ricky.
But
no, wait.
That movie has...
Did you say Alien Resurrection?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
When it was released, or you felt that way later? I'm giving you some space here to operate still. Be careful.
So, Alien Resurrection has its bad points. And it
You're
also
not
has some
answering
good
the question, dude. Did Alien Resurrection improve
Can
later?
you just let me speak?
Yeah.
All right. But there are different cuts to movies. And this is a problem, especially when we look at Aliens, Alien 3, not Alien
Cubed.
That other word.
Cubed. It's cubed.
Yeah, this is a fuck you to you. Because obviously there's a second cut to Alien 3.
Oh, yeah, man. And that makes the movie so much better. That's why I like it.
It makes it so much better. Yeah. And so Alien 3 for me...
I went to the movies to watch
better
that.
movie. So did I.
Yeah, I liked the one. I liked it anyway.
But Alien 3, even though I feel it's a stronger movie than this in some respects.
Yeah, I agree. So Alien 3 is a stronger movie than... Yeah. That was a better example than Resurrection. Resurrection is entertaining, but anyway, yeah.
Resurrection is a popcorn movie.
It is, because it's got
and
Ron Perlman in it and fucking, what's his name? Ultimate 80s bad guy?
Yeah.
What's his name?
So, I can't remember his name, but it from A Crow and various other
what's his name?
movies. I can't
Michael
remember.
Wincott. Is that Michael Wincott?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Michael
Yes,
Wincott.
yeah.
Him? And even just the...
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, but...
Just eating
Ripley
scenes. And
catching the
Winona
basketball
Ryder.
hand with what is this thing with Alien and basketball, by the way? There's a connection.
But there's also...
Anyway.
But there is that 100% shot from Sigourney Weaver where she gets it in one single
Allegedly,
take.
it's a first take. Yeah, I've seen it. We put that in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
For people that haven't.
So,
okay. So, and who would you recommend it to? Do you think... Who's this movie like...
But then there's the other Alien movies, which aren't technically Alien movies, Prometheus and Covenant. And I shift those, but yeah, in the sense that they're Ridley Scott movies, which look at the beginning of these.
Yeah.
So,
you're talking in terms of the quadrilogy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at is that this movie sits firmly in the middle of all those movies. Yeah. It's a good rounded movie. It has a lot of set design and it brings back some points and it does a lot of fan service. So fans of Alien and Aliens will enjoy it. The fans of Covenant and Prometheus will love it also.
Hey, that's growing on me. I hated it when it was released with a passion.
So I went to one of the secret cinemas, the first secret cinema with Prometheus, so in the UK, and I've seen it a number of times since. I do prefer the alternate cuts of Prometheus. But then again, this movie sits well within respect of people who like popcorn movies, want to go out, enjoy themselves, not really take it too serious. Because when we discuss this stuff, we see this from the fact that we've watched and analyzed these movies in the past. We've done it. We've talked about these movies together. We've, we understand these movies. We've lived with these movies since we were kids. I mean, 86, getting a pirate copy of Aliens. I mean, I'm watching it at a friend's house because of their, we'd managed to get a hold of a copy.
And I
was 12 years old when I watched it.
Yeah.
With Alien, I remember watching it on English TV cut with Carlsberg adverts. Yeah.
Cerveza, Cristal.
The Carlsberg movie adverts had done the same thing.
They did.
They did. I need to find some of them and send you the links. Yeah, put those in the links. But for a movie, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of ooh moments, and it's a movie. It's supposed to be enjoyed. You're supposed to take it with you and have some enjoyment.
For being the guy that was prompting us to finish fucking quick, Jesus Christ, dude, you're doing tantric.
Just trying to say,
that's your tantric review. You're just fucking edging. Just give us dude. Just come, dude. Just tell us. So it's a 7. It's a solid 7. You can't take it back. It's a solid 7.
I can't take. It's solid 7.
7.0.
7.
Steve is a 7.0 with unfurling feet.
Yes,
7.0
unfurling xeno.
Okay, Ricky.
God, it's between 6 and a 7 for me. I mean, like, if I
give me a number, dude. Give me a number,
like,
and I want to know what it is. What is
5,
the unit of measure?
Out of 5, I would give it a 3, so it'd be a 6. But it's a little bit better than a 6. It's a 7. So I'm going to stick. I'm going to confirm with Steve. It's a 7. Android milk spewing out of their mouth. Like again, I'm not going to go deep into the story.
It's a 7.0 Android milk throw up.
Milk throw up coming out of their sides and coming out of their bottom.
It's Schwarzenegger again.
But again,
I am handy. Get away from me.
But the one thing, the funny thing is, we mentioned Alien Resurrection. One of the things I did on the same day I saw Alien Romulus is Sally said to me, I have never seen Alien Resurrection. And I was like, well, the end of this movie was a little bit like Alien Resurrection. And she said...
Exactly the same.
Yeah, and I said to her...
Did you watch it?
Yeah, we sat down and we watched it on the same day.
Did you laugh? It's great.
No,
man. Wait a second. When I say it's great, I mean it's entertaining. It's funny. Now it's funny. Denadaya is in it, dude. Denadaya.
But neither one of us, both of us were like, oh my God, this is so bad. So for me, Alien Resurrection is the worst of the franchise. Okay?
I can understand that.
Yes, it is the worst of the franchise. Right? No, you can do. But I thank God that I saw Alien Resurrection on the same day I saw...
Brad Dourif is fucking in it, mate.
Amen. And Brad Dourif is horrible in it. He's
great when he fucking hams it up.
He's chewing the scenery, and then when the newborn comes out, it's awful. But anyway,
I don't think you're using chewing the scenery in the correct way. Chewing the scenery is a good way. Is a good thing for an actor.
Listen. All right, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. All right. So what I'm going to say to you is this. We watched that, and I had more of appreciation for Alien Romulus, thank goodness, because I watched Alien Resurrection on the same day. And after watching Alien Resurrection and being like, there are cheesy lines, the cutting's really bad, blah, 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 blah. Alien Romulus, in my opinion, that actually pushed it from a 5 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10. Because at least with Alien Romulus, you had the beautifulness. I cannot leave this review and without saying that Alien Romulus is one of the most beautiful alien films I've seen in a long time. It is stunning. Okay. Space is stunning. The meteorites as they hit the station, stunning. Everything about it, stunning. Acting, script, whatever, they could have been fixed up, but visually, it's one of the most stunning alien films I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
Umba, how about you?
All right, it's my turn.
Because you're just going to go into an entire terrain.
No, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm going to go full fucking Rob Bobrowski. What's his name? Bobrowski?
You mean Robert Bobrowski?
He ain't short and sweet.
Come on,
I can tell you
that.
Let's do
this. Do this.
Anyway, sorry, that's not fair. That's not fair. I am giving this a 6.5. And
we're all roughly in the same ballpark.
And I am giving this a 6.5 basketballs to this. And the reason why is because there are shortcomings here. I understand the casting choice for the entire ensemble cast. I am all for introducing a new generation to a beloved IP. I think it's a good thing to do. And I think this was the most elegant way to do it, which is to pay respects to the existing fan base and pass the flag on. Because at the end of the day, this will outlive us. If it's that good, it will outlive us. Look at Star Trek. It's been around for a long time. Star Trek started way before we were around. And every once in a while, you get examples of greatness that are current, like Strange New Worlds. Strange New Worlds is a fucking phenomenal show. If you've never seen it, it's just really good. It pays respect to good Trek. But we're going back to the 60s, and we're in 2024. That kind of makes the franchise 60 plus years old. Hopefully this will work for Alien, and I'm pretty sure it will. So it's good to pass the flag on. And to do it elegantly, you need to pay respect to the existing fan base, because we invested our entire fucking lives in this. So it's good to do it.
We did.
That's why Star Wars is a very, very hard job. I get it. And guess what? There are parallels here, my friends. When you look at it, and this was the 9th installment. We didn't talk about this, but this was the 9th installment in the Alien franchise. And guess how many Star Wars movies are there? There's 9 of them. Same thing. People forget this. Okay. It's very hard.
There's more.
That's very hard to make. We're not talking about television. We will talk about television because that's actually akin. So let me finish. It's akin to what's happening. There are 9 official Star Wars movies. There's
Rogue One, 10.
Fine. If you want to talk about spin-offs, then AVP shouldn't be in this either. I get it. But it's akin.
Yep.
It's akin. Actually, you caught me. Fuck you. You caught me. Rogue One is definitely Star Wars through and through.
It is.
I'm not going to die
I
on
was
the
about
seal.
to say,
You're right.
I would count AVP in the Alien franchise as well.
Yeah, you have to. So it's akin. Yeah. It's a spin-off. But, and also, let's not forget that we had the problems with 20th Century, and I think it was Universal that had Predator. Mm-hmm. I can't remember who it was, but there was reasons why when that happened, everyone was like, oh my God, it's amazing. And then they kind of didn't deliver the first one. The comics were great, and we always have those anyway. Now, when it comes down to this movie, it's a 6.5. And the reason why it's a 6.5 is because at the end of the day, yes, you are trying to... It's a balancing act, and I seriously cannot... I don't think Rogue One actually appeals to a younger crowd. And Rogue One really works for us. It really does. It's very adult.
Yeah, it does.
And that's why it works. I think it's because it's staying true to its roots, and it will not find a wider audience because of that. Yes, it is. It's very successful because in this case, Star Wars is a massive franchise, and already the existing fan base is large enough. I think Alien should take a cue from that. It's good to make this available, and I think there are enough avenues to have spin-offs that are appealing to both sides of the camp and stuff that is shared. And in this case, I think Alien Romulus falls onto both sides of the camp. It pleases both. But because of that, because it's a balancing act, it will never hit greatness. Simple as that. It cannot hit an extreme if you're trying to stay right in the middle. For example, when it came down to the rating of this movie, there was all this uproar about an R rating, a rating. Yeah, by modern moral standards, there is a birthing scene in this, and I think that's what did it. That's because there's allusions to that, because otherwise there's no other reason for this movie to have an R rating. I thought about it. I've seen much worse shit that should have had an R rating and didn't get it. So it is the birthing sequence. 100%. I don't even have to look that up.
Yeah, it's like the least violent Alien film that I can think of.
That's
Absolutely.
it.
But
100%.
because we have that graphic kind of depiction of, a bird sequence, which, by the way, again, it was part of the false ending. It was a setup for the false ending, and it's not original. It was done much better, in a much better way, by Ridley. As much as I talk shit about him, there's a sequence that elevated Prometheus the first time I watched it, because that was a lesson in suspense, and it's a thrilling sequence. Is when Dr. Shaw is trying to reprogram the machine to get the embryo out of her. And that's phenomenal, because the entire sequence, you are there, and as a man, I am not connected at all with the concept of birth. We'll never go through it, but yet again, you recoil when that happens.
Yeah.
But even if the movie was dog shit prior to that, it's on the tail end of Prometheus. Even if you didn't like it, there is no way that you didn't find that thrilling, because it is a phenomenal sequence. And I think the movie in Romulus kind of did this, and it did it to a lesser effect, believe it or not, because it's very hard to top. It's not even a discussion. It's not even close. That entire sequence in Prometheus is riveting. It's just the way it's put together. And you guys were talking about this movie being beautiful. Yes, it is, but so is Prometheus. And I hate Prometheus, man. When it comes down to the way Prometheus looks, holy shit. The movie looks phenomenal. The way it's lit, the way it's framed, the way it's blocked. But the scope of it is so large that we got a view of Ridley Scott's ass and the rest of his body through his asshole. It's just way too much. And as graphic as that description is, it just expanded upon a very simple formula, because you need to remember that Ridley Scott only directed Alien and then Prometheus.
Yeah.
So why not follow a more gradual step up instead of trying to create much more from a very basic formula. At the end of the day, it was right there at ground zero. It was a horror movie. People were talking about coming out of us like a horror movie set in space. The tagline for Alien was, "In space, no one will hear you scream."
Scream.
A tagline so fucking good that it's hard to place another tagline on an Alien movie, because it will never match it. It's so primal, it's so simple, it's straight to the point. It's a fucking slogan. It's like got milk for horror. So it's a 6.5. And because it's Fede Alvarez, he gets a fucking pass because of what it did with Evil Dead. From me. I hope you hear this, Fede. At the end of the day, if someone enjoyed the first episode, they listen to the second and the third. I don't care. None of this comes out. And again, we are not doing this for fucking followers. On that note, what is the rating system I'm using? It is 6.5 basketballs, and it stays that way. After the fallout from Prometheus and Covenant from the existing fan base, this was the best critical reaction that an Alien movie had since Aliens. I'm pretty sure. I don't even have to check. And that is a big fucking achievement for someone who's made 3 full features.
It's a lot of money in the bank for Fox.
It is.
20th
Not
century.
to mention the money this movie made. Yeah. So hopefully, Fede sold his soul enough to go and do.
Well, he's already put his hand up to say he'd love to tackle a Predator movie.
Oh yeah, I love to watch that.
I would love to see that.
I love to watch that.
I mean, if there's an AVP or a Predator, which is done by Alvarez, oh yeah,
that's great.
I'll be there.
On that note, I am looking forward to Alien Earth. On the sole premise that Alien Earth, for our listeners, it's a TV series, and it stars the reason to watch the show, which is I'm a huge fan. That's Timothy Olyphant. Timothy Timothy Elephant.
Elephant.
Now we've reached the elephant in the room.
Not cut. We're not cutting that. We're not cutting
I'm not cutting it out.
Not cutting it
I
out.
am not.
Elephant. Come on.
God, no, you keep going. I don't give a shit, Timothy Elephant. Are you fucking kidding me? Timothy Elephant, too much whiskey, man.
You did so well. We let you go for 15 minutes,
I don't
and then
give
that
a
last
shit,
bit.
man. It's Timothy Oliphant. Anyway, Timothy Oliphant is a reason to watch the show. He's such an, and people use lately on social media whenever you see it. I hope you understand what I'm saying, and I'm talking to you if you're listening to this as well, not just to you guys. Sometimes people will talk about someone who is not underrated at all, or something that is not under, and they will say, "Oh, that's so underrated." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Have you seen that? Have you encountered that on social media?
Mm-hmm.
In the comments, sometimes there's somebody that will talk about. I don't know. I saw that someone said something like that about Lost Highway. Oh, such an underrated movie. And like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's not an underrated movie.
When I see this, it
is not.
Dude, that's
an
the latest.
Movie.
It's
one of my favorites.
Dude, it is possibly Lynch's best. But anyway, as much as I love all of his work, it's Lynch's best when it comes down to the message at the end. But anyway, and also it's Lynch's fucking refrain. It's an exercise in self control because it's his most linear film.
Okay.
Easily.
Okay.
It is. If you think about it,
we'll argue about it later on. But yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, maybe I'll argue with.
No,
I won't argue with you. I'll argue with Yetel. I'll argue with you, friend.
Well, we've never seen it. Right, great.
Yeah, guys. Anything else to add on? What are we doing next week?
Whatever you want.
Whatever we want.
And that concludes our conversation on Alien Romulus. We look forward to you joining us next week as we return to our traditional format. Meanwhile, we would like to invite you to follow us on Facebook and on your favorite podcasting platform. Have a great week.